everybody, we got us some much needed moisture. Just getting ready to move the sheep. We got to put up a divider fence right here, cut all the net wrap and twine off these bales and get them moved. But we've got, according to one weather station, about a ½ inch of moisture. I'd say the snow was closer to 8 inches deep this morning, and now it's kind of shrunken to about 4.5, 5. So it'll be good once we get it. Somebody gets a good moisture for everybody. And they're all going to enjoy the new feed. The winds played havoc on a few of the bales that the twine was broke on. It makes these really fun to get the twine off of. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to kick this fence that direction for a few minutes, so when I open up the bale, it don't land on the wire. We got, it's still snowing. It's good, a good temperature, mid 20s, high 20s, somewhere in there, and no wind, thankfully. So it's kind of a nice day out here, even though we are getting the moisture. Everybody's getting a little bit snowed on, but they do have that shed they can go to warm up if they needed it, but they shouldn't. We're going to open up these bales and have their fresh feed, and it's going to be up in the 70s again next week. So this is just a little bit of a spring moisture, and yeah, all is good. I'm going to go ahead and get these twines and bales picked up here. Alrighty. Got these bales ready. Stringing up this wire. And now for the post spacing. And because it is winter and they're a little easier to keep in, we go 3rd and then the 6th. On most step ins, they're going to be pretty close to the same height there. And that's what keeps them in so far. It'll be a little bit harder maybe come late June, July, when they got that green feed. Even a little bit harder yet when it starts being when it's the feed value starts going down and you start chasing it. They a little bit harder to keep in then, but for right now, we've had them in these 2 poly wires. You know, got poly there and over there running this way, and then the 2 poly going that way. And they've been in that all winter with no problems. So they know they get fed every, about 3 days. They'll go through these 5 bales, which right now our math on these, they're going through a lot more feed than what people say sheep will eat. Even considering, if I consider, 150, 200 pounds of waste, they're still going through a considerable amount more. Without counting the waste on the ground, they're about 10 pounds, 10.5 pounds per head per day. These are 1,400 pound bales, and like I said, there's 5 here, and they'll go through all these in 3 days. And then if it's not stormy or not really cold, I might let them dig one night to clean up a little bit better. Other than that, yeah, that's what they get. I also don't want the ground too thick with armor, so it's going to be very interesting to see how this area does for this next upcoming season of growing, if we just get a lot of weeds because of the hay and armor out here. And I mean, it might very well stunt the growth in a lot of places, but it's going to be very fun to see. I don't, 2 growing seasons from now, you really won't be able to tell nothing was out here. I highly doubt. But, you know, it's an experiment. And we'll be following that along as we go. Isn't that right, ladies? Yeah. Everybody wants their new feed. Not yet. So, they're all fairly happy. I'm pretty content with how the lambs look for last year's lambs. Like, this one here is last year's lamb, and that one there's 2 years ago. So they're looking pretty good for the most part. I've got some small ones in here, just like every flock. There's gonna be some genetic or something not quite right with them, so they didn't grow. But well, like prime example is that little thing right there. Hasn't put on any weight all summer or nothing. So don't know what that one's problem was, but she won't be going through the breeding season. Like, I didn't have to worry about her getting bred this year because she's just too tiny. So I put the Bear and Ike in with Ranger to let them play. Sounds like they're, well, it sounds like Bear's being an asshole. But they're working it out. They've never gotten any bad fight. Ranger and Bear, they're used to each other. We had them at the camper. I mean, this is all they had to play with each other, so they'll get through it. But are you just going there and opening it up? I can't get to with the camera. So there we go. Now they'll go down and around and be fed. We're going to tear up this fence and gotta keep that tight. Hey, shape. There's always a couple that think they gotta go the other end or something, but we'll get them across here. So, but they all know the routine. Come on, girls. I'm probably kind of in the way.
Dummy. Scoop. Scoop.
But, yep, we are completely enjoying this moisture.
Scooby.
It's what we needed. Come here. You sit down. So, Scubs! Sit. There we go. They're all through it. So I'm going to help him get this wire picked up so we don't have to worry about him coming back across and all that wonderful stuff. That is one thing with how we got these bales set up. It creates this alley, and it does make it fairly kind of tight when they're not used to it. And you can kind of see, like right there, it makes it a little tight, but This inside wire here has been pushing about 10,000 all winter. So for the most part, they all have learned to respect it and not push it too hard. But anyway, thanks for watching.